man, I really don't feel like training today. But that's the moment you actually have to train. What up guys, I'm in Beijing right now, 2 years deep working with the Chinese national breaking team. While everybody goes for a lunch break, I actually always stay here and I always practice. And I basically do not eat lunch because I've eaten enough already. I'm not fat, but I could lose an extra 5 to 7 kilograms just to get sharper again. And coming from another very long injury, this one in the groin on both sides, slowly recovering, but the major issue is not recovering from the injury. The major issue is just feeling light and sharp. Because today I'm 36 years old, and I might not look 36 years old though. However, I am feeling 36 years old. So yeah, the body is not what it used to be. However, that's just no excuse. And me just feeling really sore and having pain everywhere from training literally every day is also not an excuse. So yeah, let's get to warm up and let's get this training over with. And during this training, I'll be sharing some valuable tips with you guys, which should help you guys get motivated if you're in the same situation like me and really don't feel like practicing. So let's get to work. So first things first, if you're feeling really sore in the beginning of your practice, then you want to get yourself one of these, which is a foam roll, and you want to get yourself one of these, which is a massage gun. Loosening everything up before you start your warm up is definitely something that's going to help you make the training a little bit more enjoyable. Targeting those areas where you feel the most pain is the most efficient way to make it work. You have to sacrifice a little bit of your comfort now to gain extra comfort later through the process. And using your massage gun to hit the more smaller muscles and smaller joints is something I would recommend you guys. Same thing here, man. Where it hurts, that's where you want to push and really concentrate your effort. Oh man, this area right here, this is where it's been hurting for a while, man. The Chinese team has this physiotherapist, which is awesome, by the way. The guy is really good at his job, but he's a fucking butcher, man. You know, also when purchasing a massage gun, you have to be very careful because there are a lot of crappy ones out there. So when buying a massage gun, make sure you make a proper investment. Don't just buy like the cheap ones that are like 15 bucks or something like that. In other words, don't be cheap, because I have a saying in life, the more stingy you are in life, the more life will be stingy with you. Another golden nugget of quality advice I have for you guys is make sure your playlist or whatever music you put on is something that motivates you and that gets you going. So right now I'm putting on one of my favorite DJs, which is DJ Jazzy Jeff. See, just that intro, it's already pumping me up. All right, let's get that warm up done.
Let's mosey on up to Halifax. And let her do her thing. And we're gonna see the good people in Halifax on Sunday.
So when warming up, it's always smart to have that sweater on or a hoodie or just something that helps you speed up the process of warming up. So something I love to do when I warm up is basically just start with some top rock. Not only are you improving your top rock and your musicality and your form and your flavor, but you're also getting that blood circulating. And overall, when I see people train, they skip top rock while they could add top rock easily during many different parts of their training, including the warm up. I don't have a lot of videos on top rock at the moment. However, if you are a beginner and you're just starting out with breaking, then you definitely want to check out this video right here, because in that video right here, I teach you 5 beginner top rocks. While training top rock, during your warm-up or not during your warm-up, pay very close attention to your arms, your hands, and even your fingers, because these are the details. And when it comes to breaking, it's all about the details. Also, train with your eyes up, looking at yourself in the mirror as you perform your top rock. This will normalize your muscle memory to help you keep your eyes up during your breaking. Whether you're battling or training, you should always keep those eyes up and make eye contact with your opponent or your crowd if you're dancing during a showcase or something like that. As the minutes go by, as you execute your top rock, you start to generate more energy and start to connect to the music even better. To a point where you just can't hold yourself back from dropping down to the floor. But at this point, we're not gonna be stupid. I'm not 16 years old anymore. Before starting to bust out footwork, power moves, freezes, or whatever moves that will be executed on the floor, I need a proper warm-up. So let's move on to the next phase of my warm-up, which concludes a lot of workout exercises, a lot of core exercises. So I really get ready to execute stuff on the floor. That's DJ Jazzy Jeff, y'all. Don't forget.
Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
What I love about DJ Jazzy Jeff, man, he always mix up the classic with the original samples, basically giving us a little bit of a history lesson on where a lot of samples come from. That's just fucking awesome. Anyways, during your warm-up, make sure you really focus your efforts on areas where break injuries are very, very common. And I made a video about that right here, where you can learn a lot about preventing injury. But to keep it short on this one, wrists, groin, neck, and for some people, knees and ankles. Worst thing you can do is not warm these things up and then just go all out and start to perform power moves. So remember that if you didn't know that yet. So at this point, I'm starting to feel pretty good, starting to sweat a little bit, and that means you're ready for some practice. First thing I like to do is just freestyle a little bit and just enjoy the dance. If you're not enjoying it, then you're doing it wrong. So the amazing thing is that no matter how bad I felt 20, 25 minutes ago, by the time you really start to warm up, and you manage to just push through that shit feeling, you just start to feel normal again. You feel absolutely amazing. Keeping in mind that half an hour ago, I was considering just going back to the room and just taking a day off. When it's time to put in the work and to reach something that's exceptional, we're always looking for an excuse, but that's simply not just how you get shit done. So whatever reason you might have to skip practice today or tomorrow or the next day, just don't fall for that trap. You can always put in more effort. All right, so I can practice randomly like this for a whole day, but at some point you have to stop and you have to start training a little bit more productively and using a little bit more of your brain capacity. So 2 weeks ago, I traveled to Battle of the Year with my crew, Battle Droids crew. I didn't compete with them. However, I did randomly enter the one-on-one. And surprisingly, for not being training very hard for a long period of time, I did pretty well. I passed the qualifier and I made it to the top 16 and then lost in the top 16 with only 1 vote difference. However, I did dance like a piece of shit. And 2 weeks before that, while traveling to Florida with some other students, I also randomly entered a 2-on-2 battle in Tampa, which was fun, but they're the same thing. Lost in the semifinal just because I wasn't clean and basically I was prepared like a piece of shit. So now at training, I had fun, I was doing some freestyle, I was just popping out some random moves, random combos, just following my feeling, my gut. But at a certain point, you have to stop that if you really want to win battles, because that's what I want to do. I still want to compete and win events.
But Sam, aren't you a little too old for battles? Shouldn't you focus on coaching?
Yes, I should keep focusing on coaching, obviously. But if Hong 10 can win the BC1 at 39 years of age, I think, then hell yeah, I can still win battles. Especially if I get that far in these last 2 battles without any preparation whatsoever. Now, 2 years ago, before that groin injury, I felt the best I ever felt before in my life. I was 34 years of age, which is pretty old, but the way I was training was just so effective. So at this point during my training, enough fun and games, I'm diving into my notes, which is a database for all my rounds, all my combos, all my moves. And then systematically, I'm gonna go over all my footwork combos so that the next battle where I compete, I don't mess them up like a piece of shit. I am gonna avoid power moves today as I'm not fully recovered in the groin yet, so I don't wanna make it any worse, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't practice, right? So yeah, less talking, more training. Here we go. Three things I want to add right here when you're training your combos, your sets, your rounds for battle. Number 1 is learn how to perform and execute no matter the music type. It might be good music, it might be bad music. Same thing happens in battle, right? So you got to learn to overcome and adapt to these kind of situations. Number 2 is while going through your notes and reading your notes, you want to read a lot of stuff that you don't feel like doing at that moment. That's when you do it at that moment. Because most of the time when you go out there and battle and the pressure is on and the emotions get mixed up, then you're not going to feel like doing certain moves and certain combos. You got to routine yourself and you got to prepare yourself for that. Third, amazing, valuable Coach Sambo nugget of gold tip right here is when executing here at practice by yourself or with other people around you, make sure you simulate a battle environment. Things like facing forwards, keeping those eyes up, and including gestures and burns and these kind of things during your round. Because then again, if you do these things at practice and you get used to it, you normalize it, it gets into the muscle memory, you don't have to think about it during your next competition. Or you could lose 50 battles in competitions before you come to the realization yourself. Choice is yours. All right, so I just went through all the footwork combos right now, keeping in mind that I was almost considering not going to practice today. Did them anyway, felt relatively good, and I actually feel the improvement over the weeks. Man, the importance of pushing through even when you don't feel like it is just so important. And it's like that every time with everything, man. When I go out running, a lot of times I don't want to go out running, but you push yourself to a point where you basically do it, you get back, you feel amazing. Why? Because you realize that any obstacle can be overcome just by not acting like a f***y. So, we're not done yet. Right now we're 2 hours deep into the practice. And at this point, I still have 30 minutes left before the team gets back. So what do I do with this time? I don't go on Instagram. I don't watch a YouTube video. I go to the freaking gym. What do you guys think of my Team China winter coat? Pretty stylish, huh? So after working out, obviously, I want to finish off with some stretching always. Worst thing you can do is just pack up your bags and just leave practice without having any type of stretching. It's gonna help you feel a lot better on the morrow. And now it's back to work, helping athletes get ready for the last WDSF Olympic qualifier, which is in Hong Kong this weekend. And after that, we continue on the road to the Olympics, of course. Don't forget, tons of tutorials on my YouTube channel and other break-related videos that you might love or might not love. Don't hesitate to subscribe. And never forget, at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's just all about that b-boy. Peace and love, babe.